and this video has been a long time coming. So today we're going to be having part 2 of the competition. Now if you don't remember from the first video, we went over a couple things in that one. I will link it right there. And if you want to join the competition, then you have to go like that video, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel. And I will be confirming any ages or anything like that through message. You must be able to prove your age to win. That one's a little bit of a long one, so if you don't want to watch it, this is part 2. Now, on this one, you need to give your thoughts on the final outcome of the competition, and then let me know that down in the comment section, what you think, maybe what your order would be out of all of them. But today, we're going to be going over single coil in all of these Addies. Now, if you don't know what they are, this is the Drop RDA, this is the Bonza RDA, and this, last but certainly not least, is the Dead Rabbit RDA. So let me show you the builds in all of these, just so that you can see that these were freshly built. The 2 videos ago on the channel was actually the build video for these coils. Sarah actually did the install on them. As you can see, fresh coils, glowed, but never fired with juice. Fresh cotton on that one. That is the Drop. Same thing with the Bonza. Let me show y'all. Fresh coil, fresh cotton. And I'll go over the actual resistances on these real quick. This one is at, I don't know if y'all can see that. It says 0.67 on there. I'll go back to the Drop real quick. This one says 0.65. I wish that y'all could see that better. It's right up there. And last but not least, let me show you the cotton in the coil on the Dead Rabbit. Ooh, cotton's a little fluffy on this one, as y'all can see. There's the coil, fired but never used. There's the cotton. And 0.68. So they're all within about 0.02 of each other. I wanted to make them as close as possible, but lead length does play a factor, and the lead lengths on these are all different, but the wraps are the same. The way I wicked them is all the same. I wanted to show that these are brand new. Here in a second, you will see down below. I will come back after about a week, show you what they look like, show you how I've been using them, and then show you that I'm re-wicking them so that I can show you I'm being unbiased in the final part of the review. I'm even gonna wear the same clothing for continuity's sake. So let's dive down and let's get into it. All right, so we are down close, and I was originally gonna do this as a build, but I just wanna show y'all the RDAs and make sure y'all see that they are going to be used on the same mod with the same build inside them. All right, so here's number 1, the Dead Rabbit. As y'all can see, there's the original 6 wrap. There's the wick. Let me put that back. Unscrew this puppy. And on to the next one. Let me clean that off real quick. Here is the Drop. Remember that original 6 wrap? The cotton looks a little nasty because I've been using these for a little bit of time now, but I wanted it to be unbiased and I wanted to try all of them in all their glory. And last but not least, the only one without a drip tip on it this second, because it was the first one that I used, is the, get the lid off, Bonza. And there's the 6 wrap. Now, before we go back up top, I'm going to re-wick the oldest used of the two, which is this one and the Drop. Actually, I'm just going to re-wick all three of them, and we are going to go over the flavor profile on a fresh start. So, we'll see you guys on top. And we are back. Told y'all I'd be wearing the same thing. Wanted to make sure that y'all had some continuity. Maybe didn't see a different shirt in the middle of this. It's been a week. Just re-wicked these and they are saturated. So, the three parts that I'm going to be going over. Squonking, ease of installing a single coil, and the overall flavor off of a single coil. So let's start with the loser of last round. Remember, this one got 2 points, and then it was the Drop at 3, and the Bonza at 4. We'll see what that comes out to this time. All right, let's get her going. Now, if you're wondering, where's that one? If you're wondering, over the past week, I've been finding the best, not the best wattage for each one of them. We're staying at a sweet 50 watts. I don't know if y'all can see that. Y'all can. It's sweet 50 watts since they're all within 0.2 of each other. Just for the evenness of it. They all get 50 watts. They're the same coil. And I found the best airflow that I feel like each one of them is going to get. So I'll show you. Let's show you some vapor production again. And that is for my 0.67 single coil. Alright, on to the next one. This was second place last time. It is the Drop RDA. New coil all the way up to 50 watts. My 0.64. It's within 0.03 of each other. My bad. Persecute me. 50 watts. And this one has both airflow slots all the way open. I still found the best flavor on the single coil that I put in came from both airflows all the way open. So, let's go. Too much nicotine. I vape on a 6. Too much nicotine all at once. Okay, as you can see, denser clouds, but it doesn't come down to the clouds. It comes down to flavor. These are all recently re-wicked, so any flavor I'm getting off of these is going to be absolutely the freshest. I did it that way so that I could vape on them for a week, and then I could see what my thoughts were while trying to be completely unbiased on brand new cotton. I'll grab a drip tip. This was the only one that did not have a drip tip. I mean, I have other 810s, but I didn't have any that looked quite right on it, if that makes sense. See, it just doesn't look right. Anyways, let's go. I have 5 of the 6 rows of air holes open on this one. Vaping it in single coil mode, like the actual RDA, not just as a single coil. So let's go. Forgot to do the new coil stuff. This is what happens when you're a brand new vape reviewer. And see, the resistance has changed since the first video. Sorry about the scratching, it was probably really annoying. This is at a 0.67 now. Let's vape it. Okay, not as dense of vapor production, but that's not what we're here for. So, my final thoughts. This is probably going to piss a lot of people off, but there's a big but. It's hard because they all have amazing flavor. Some of them have a little bit more spit back than others, but that's not part of this competition. 2 of them actually have a single coil mode, but yet the one that actually doesn't have the single coil mode okay. Final thoughts. This is the final results. And remember, the loser of the competition doesn't mean it's a bad RDA. It just means that that is the one that we'll be giving away. Remember, you gotta verify your age somehow. Like the video, comment on the video, your order and what you think it would be, and subscribe to the channel. All right, so let's get this going. Let's get people's panties in a bunch. We'll start with number 1. Did we start with number 2? We started with first place and then went backwards, so we'll go with last place this time and go forward. The Dead Rabbit is in last place. Now hear me out. It does not vape well in single coil mode. It just doesn't. The chamber is too large for all the air to swoosh around in it, and you just lose flavor. So I was vaping it in dual air hole mode, trying to get kind of a back effect. So I was trying to have the airflows hit each other, swoosh down, and then come up. So swoosh, hit the coil, underneath, and then up. Because air is going to follow the best trajectory to get to where the air pressure is the greatest. So it was going to go through the holes and up. I was trying to get it to where the pressure would hit the coil and then go straight up. So all the flavor being condensed around the coil and then up into your mouth. And even with that, the Dead Rabbit is my last place. In second place in this category is the Bonza. The chamber, keep in mind this comes down to a lot. I could have filled the side of the chamber with cotton, but that would have given it an unfair advantage. The chamber, once again, is too large, but the airflow is directly at the coil, so you get all of the air going in through the side, hitting the coil, and then up into your mouth. There is going to be some residual swooshing around the other side of the chamber, which is what I think killed the flavor in the single coil division, but that is my rating for this one. It had better flavor than the Dead Rabbit, but not as good a flavor as the Drop. Now guys, I'm not eating my words. Yes, aesthetics shouldn't play as big of a part in vaping as I made it out to be in my Drop video, which I will post right there if you want to go and yell at me for it. But this RDA has surprised me. I didn't give it a great rating because I didn't like the fact that it didn't have a single coil mode, so I started this competition in hopes that it would redeem itself because everyone and their mother likes this RDA. And I wanted to. I really did. I did not like some of the aesthetics. I didn't like some of the finishes, some of the choices they made, the sharp edges, stuff like that. My rating still stands based wholeheartedly on everything about it that in the video, but based solely on flavor, buildability, and Squonk-ability, because all of these come with Squonk pins, so they should all do well in Squonk mode. The Drop wins this part of the round. So what does that leave the final totals at? It leaves the Drop and the Bonza tied at 7, and it leaves the Dead Rabbit at 4. Now, it does not mean that any of these are bad by any means, but this is my personal opinion, and I tried to remain as unbiased as possible. No aesthetics came into play here. No, whether it has a single airflow mode or not, single coil airflow or not, came into play here. I found the best way to vape these with the single coil that was installed, and everything else was exactly the same. So, please leave your order down in the bottom. Like it, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back in exactly a week to choose between the people who did it on the first video and this video. So, See you guys next time on reviews. Like I said, peace.